In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create an off canvas with 3 different themes. So we have the light one, the blue, and then the green, and they still look good on full screen. But the really cool thing about them is that they're really responsive. So I'm going to open one of them on a phone, so on an iPhone SE dimensions, and we can see that it still works really well. And before we get started, we have to make sure that we have the Bootstrap links. And if you already have them, then you can skip to the next section. But if you don't, then keep watching. So open your Chrome browser, search up Bootstrap, click on the first link that pops up. Now we're going to scroll down until we find the include via CDN section. Copy the first link and paste it in the header under the title. Copy the second link and paste it at the very bottom of your body. And now that we have that out of the way, we can get started. So we're going to start by creating a button that will trigger the off canvas. So let's go in our body, create the button, and it's going to be a regular button. So we're going to add the basic Bootstrap classes, which are going to be button and then button, and let's choose primary. You can do whatever other color you want, but I'll just do primary for this video. And now we're going to add 2 important attributes, and the first one is going to be the data BS toggle. So toggle, and we're going to set this to off canvas. The second one is going to be the target, so the data BS target. Whoops, so target, and this is going to be set to the ID of the div, which is going to be the container of the off canvas. And we can also set this to off canvas, but if you want to, you can set this to something else. And for the text, we can just write open off canvas and save it. And so this is what the button looks like, and when we click it, nothing happens, and that's because we have to create the off canvas now. And to do that, we're going to go under the button. I'm going to add 2 spaces, and so the script is going to be at the very bottom, and then we have the button. And now let's create the div. So this div is going to have multiple classes. The first one is going to be off canvas. The second one is going to be off canvas and then start, so that it would be at the left of our screen. And now we're going to add a few attributes. So the first one is going to be tab index, and we're going to set this to -1. And then the data BS scroll, we're going to set this to true. And now we have to add the ID that we've added here. So at the data BS target. So I'm just going to copy it and let's just add it here. So ID, paste it in here. And now we can open it. And now we're going to create the header. So we have to create a div, which is going to have a class of off canvas. And then instead of start here, we're going to change this to header. And it doesn't need any other attributes. So let's open it. And what we're going to do is actually copy and paste it under and change the header into body. And so here we're going to put the content that would be in the header of our off canvas, and then here the content that would be in the body. And before we move on, let's see if it works. So when we click the button, we can see this panel coming from the left of our body. And let's see what happens if we change this to end now. So when we click it, now it's going to come out from the right. So you can set it to whatever you want, but I'll set it to start. And now we're going to create a title. And I don't want it to be too big, so we can either create an H2 or an H3. So let's try an H3, and then we can always change that. We're going to add a special class, which is going to be called OffCanvas, and then title. And I'm just going to write OffCanvas title. We can always change that to something else. Let's see what it will look like. So there we go. Let's make this bigger. So change this to H2. H2. There we go. So that looks a lot nicer. And before we move on, let's create a close button, which is going to be at the top right of our off canvas. So we're going to go under the H2 in our off canvas header, create the button, and it's going to have 2 classes. The main one is going to be button close, and I'll show you the next one later, but it's going to have an attribute, which is going to be data BS dismiss, and we're going to set this to off canvas. And so now we're going to see the icon or the button, and the second class was just margin left of 2. So now it looks a bit nicer. We can maybe change this to 1. Let's do one, see what that looks like. Yeah, well, let's keep it at one now. And the cool thing is when we hover it, it gets darker to let us know that now we can click it and then it would close. And now let's add some text in the body. So under the title, let's go here. Let's create a paragraph and I'm going to just generate some text. This should be enough. Let's see what it looks like. So now we have some text here. We have a title and the close button. We can obviously add some more text. So let's say, let's create another paragraph. Let's do 50. See what that looks like. There we go. We can create a few buttons maybe. So button, class, btn, btn, secondary. We can create a button like this. So close. And we can add this attribute, which will also close our canvas. So there we go. We've created a button at the very bottom of the canvas. And now let's make sure that the button actually works. So when we click it, we can see that it does work. And now let's take a look at different themes that we can set our off canvas to, so that it wouldn't be just plain white like it is right now. So what we can do is actually copy all of this. I'm going to add a space here, paste it here, and all that we have to do now is change the ID. Let's change this to OffCanvas 2, this one to OffCanvas 1, and now, so this right here, the ID, I'm going to change this one to 2, this one to also 2, and now it should work. So let's actually OffCanvas title 2, make sure that it works. So this one's going to be the first one, and this one's going to be the second one, so we can see that they're both totally different. And let's actually change this back to this. And let's change the theme. So this one, let's set it to blue. And we're going to start by going to our main div, which is going to be the one with the ID of Canvas 2. Set the background to primary, like this. And now we're going to see that it's going to be blue. And the next thing that we have to do is change this to text light. And so now we're going to see that the text is going to be white. And let's actually change the close button to dark. So we're going to scroll down to here and then change this to dark. And so now this is going to be darker, and this off canvas looks a lot better than this one in my opinion. We can actually also change this one to dark. So go up here, write dark. There we go. So we got number 1, number 2, and let's change the names of our buttons. So this one is going to be open light off canvas, and then this one is going to be open blue off canvas. And let's create one more. So let's create a green one. And before we move on, let's change the button classes, so, or sorry, backgrounds, so that they would match the off canvases. So let's just set this one to dark so we could actually see it and not light. So go up here and then change this to dark. And so there we go. This one's going to be dark. This one's going to be blue. And then we have one more. So copy this, paste this one under, and I'm going to change this to blue, or sorry, green. So green, and then all that we're going to do is change the background to green also. So success, and then the one class 2, so success. And the last thing I forgot to do is change the ID because it opens the second one. So change this to 3, this also to 3. And now we're going to see that it's going to open the green one, and it looks pretty nice, just like the other two. And so this is where I'm going to end it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Leave a comment down below if you have any other video requests, and see you in the next video.